Continuing finally in my series on Nietzsche's book, Zarathustra, we're on section 20 on child and marriage, and this is kind of a section which has to do with the right kind of person that you need to be, the right kind of person that you should be to be married to somebody else and to have children. He says, "I have a question for you alone, my brother. Like a sounding lead, I cast this question into your soul that I might know how deep it is. You are young and wish for a child in marriage, but I ask you, are you a man entitled to wish for a child? Are you the victorious one, the self-conqueror, the commander of your senses, the master of your virtues? This I ask you, or is it the animal in need that you speak of your wish? You shall build over and beyond yourself. But first you must be built yourself, perpendicular in body and soul. You shall not only reproduce yourself, but produce something higher. May the garden of marriage help you in that." So keep in mind the idea of the overman, and how throughout this book, Zarathustra, Nietzsche, is going to be arguing that you should be becoming a creator in yourself and be the overman yourself. And what is the overman? I have a video specifically just about that, about Nietzsche and the overman. The overman is precisely the man who overcomes human existence itself. The man who doesn't acknowledge what is created, rather than becomes a creator in himself. Goes beyond. He doesn't acknowledge things that are transcendent of the world. He recognizes this real world, but he tries to be a creator in himself and go beyond in himself. Tries to self-actualize and go beyond the possibilities that he thinks that there are. You shall build over and beyond yourself, but first you must be built yourself, perpendicular in body and soul. You shall not only reproduce yourself, but produce something higher. May the garden of marriage help you in that. Marriage, thus I name the will of two to create, the one that is more than those who created it. Reverence for each other, as for those willing with such a will, is what I name marriage. Well, I do not like he says, the which all too many the superfluous call marriage. Alas, what shall I name that? Alas, the poverty of the soul impair. Alas, the filth of the soul impair. Alas, this wretched contentment impair. Marriage, they call this, and they say that their marriages are made in heaven. Thus, the idea of a Christian marriage where they center their marriage on God and try to say that they are infinitely together in heaven. Well, I do not like it. This heaven of the superfluous. No, I do not like them. These animals entangled in the heavenly net. And let God who lives near to bless what he never joined. Keep his distance from me. Do not laugh at such marriages. What child would not have to weep? What child would not have cause to weep over his parents? But even your best love is merely an exact parable and a painful ardor. It is a torch that should light up higher paths for you. Over and beyond yourselves shall love one day. You shall love one day. Thus learn first to love. Bitterness lies in the cup of even the best love. Thus it arouses longing for the overman. Thus it arouses your thirst for the Creator, an arrow in lodging for the overman. Tell me, my brother, is this your will to marriage? Holy, I call such a will and such a marriage. Thus spoke Zarathustra. So the whole thing here is that in yourself you can achieve the status of the overman. You can. However, to be in a marriage and to have kids, the right way to do it, according to Nietzsche and thus according to Zarathustra, is to do it with having your potentialities of what you can achieve in the overman in your mind, and thus you can achieve even more together with your spouse. The Bible says certain things about marriage, and so does, this is what I call almost the atheist Bible. I think if you want to be an atheist and still have a very fulfilling life, think this is the real book for one to read. I'm not an atheist, but I still think it's a fascinating book. Following this, I think there's only 2 more sections left to do before the part ends, and then we'll start part 2.